Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our vlog. You join us on a
Yeah, it's quite cloudy and overcast today, and it's a little bit nippy. There's a nip in the air, isn't there?
just a little
A
bit
bit chilly. We're down at Braunston
by the
Admiral Nelson, just behind us, and we've just had a lovely lunch in the pub. So it's actually
Lovely.
technically not good morning; it's good afternoon, but it doesn't really sound the same, does it?
No, I have to do me good morning. And where are we, honey?
Yeah, we're at Braunston. We're at Braunston,
Yeah.
in case you didn't know.
Yeah, so our video this week is all about rivers.
Yeah, where are we on the river?
We're on the Great Ouse, I know that much.
The River Great Ouse. We're going from the EA moorings at the ship in to the middle levels today. We're going and so we cruise up to Denver Sluice, and then we do the tidal section of the Great River Ouse.
Very scary.
Yeah, because if we miss the turning, because the turning into Salters Lode is really quite. It's back on itself.
Yeah, you can't really see all of it in the video, but when you're coming up to Salters Lode, and the tide is behind you coming, would be so easy to miss it.
Yeah.
So you need to look out for a yellow pole. So if you see it before us,
let us know.
Otherwise, we've missed it.
Yeah, because if you miss the turning, you end up in the sea, don't you?
You do, yeah.
So luckily we didn't do that on this occasion.
No.
And we ended up on the middle levels. And that's where our video ends, I think, this week.
It does,
isn't it?
yeah.
And in case you're wondering what's different about Patrick, he hasn't got his glasses.
No.
Why is that, Patrick?
No. I've had new eyes put in. I had, just for your information, I had cataracts.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you feel like buying us a coffee,
yeah, in the description.
By all means do. We'll put them in the description below.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for their kind, good wishes, and welcome back.
Yeah.
Video.
Yeah, that was very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Actually, to see familiar names.
That's heartwarming.
Yeah, heartwarming. Yeah, gives us the impetus to carry on.
Yeah. Make us whatever videos we.
So we hope you enjoy this video.
We'll see you in the next one.
We're just leaving the ship EA moorings. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah, don't I look like it?
He's only just awake. We're just passing the ship pub there and Brandon Creek Junction, which is the junction of the River Great Ouse to the River Little Ouse. Yeah, we didn't go in there. Not really pub people. Don't go for drink. If we go to a pub, it's usually for a meal. And we've got roughly a 2-hour cruise to Denver Sluice, where we cross the tidal part of the Ouse or the middle levels. And there's a heron across the way there doing his morning fishing. So this part of the river is called 10 Mile Bank. I can only assume that it's because it's about 10 miles of straight river. It's quite dull and overcast today. It's not supposed to rain anymore. It's rained most of the night and early this morning. It stopped around about 8 o'clock and we set off about 8:30. Some nice EA moorings there. We would have stopped there if we'd have known that they were free. Just that I think they get quite busy. There's a water point there as well. So we're just coming up to the Denver Sluice complex. I think we've got to keep left to go towards King's Lynn and the middle levels. But it seems a lot of the mooring sites nearby are closed, so hopefully there's somewhere to moor further up. Yeah, looks like there's a landing on the right of the left-hand junction, if you get my driftings. To the left of us that we've just passed. But that's the lock that we're going through, so we're heading for there. And it looks like she's pretty much at high tide. We've got about an hour to go before we can go through the lock. And there we are waiting on the lock landing. Now I know there's another boat on its way up because we passed him. He was moored on the Gober 10 mile moorings and shouted out, "Are you going to Denver?" He said, "I'll see you there." So he's on his way up. Denver Lock is the main navigation structure linking the South Level river system to the tidal river and then to the middle level or the sea. The first sluice at Denver, constructed by Bermudian in 1651, would have allowed navigation only when the water levels each side of the sluice were equal. And we'll leave that on screen for you to read at your leisure. Just on our way into Denver Lock. So we're just coming out of Denver Lock. It's only a short journey up to Salters Lode. And I couldn't really film very much because I was holding the bow rope and didn't bring the camera with me, stupidly. So here I am now. So there's a cruiser in the lock just waiting for us to clear. And I think there's only room for one boat at Salters Lode, so they have to wait for us to clear the lock before they go. Or before they can come in. Oh, it's a really sharp turn.
Actually, yeah, that's. Bit of an experience.
Yeah. So there you go. We're in just about, I think.
That's it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That was a bit of an experience. There you go. Well, we've just come to Salters Lock, or Salters Lode Lock, and we had to sort out a middle level licence here because our Anglian pass that we bought last year has expired, so we were hoping to get a short-term 7-day licence. But you know what? Which is what we've got, but it's almost the same price as the whole year of the Anglian licence, all by 25 quid, which is like disgraceful. There isn't an accurate historic account, but it is generally agreed that King John, who lived between 1166 and 1216, did lose the crown jewels in the waters somewhere in this area. Early reports suggested that while journeying to the north in the river, which is called Wellstream, by an unexpected accident he lost all his wagons and horses with all the treasures, precious vessels and everything which he loved so well, for the ground opened up in the middle of the waves and bottomless whirlpools swallowed them up. Well, that's a story, isn't it? I mean, we could be cruising along the river here and checking the river out for King John's crown jewels.
There's the old World War II pillbox. It's in a bit of state, that one. It's a doer upper, that one. They were put there to stop people from being able to travel up the river, and I imagine they were manned regularly during the World War II, probably with the Home Guard.
Apparently round here they measure the hills in inches, according to Pat. He must have read that snippet of information somewhere. It looks like I've got a duck.
Did that?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, just coming up to Outwell. And we're just going over a little aqueduct, Millicourt Aqueduct. I think it goes over the one of the other rivers. come up the front here as we're coming up to a really tricky bend, and it's made worse by a moored GRP boat which is moored on the port side and the canoes on the moorings ahead. So in order to make the turn, we've got to reverse to pivot as shown in the diagram. Okay, so sharp left here. You need to move over a bit because there's a cruiser just there. Right, can you turn now?
Going down.
Certainly don't make it easy. Throw in a bit of weed for good measure and it just makes it very difficult.
And I think we're round, thankfully. And another low bridge ahead. Well, we've just come through from Denver Sluice to Salters Lode and on to Well Creek. We're moored up at Church Bridge moorings, and we thought they'd be quite busy, but we're the only boat here because it's really the only decent stop off between Salters Lode and March. So these are 36-hour moorings. We're only staying overnight and hoping to get a mooring in March tomorrow. Because it's Pat's birthday this weekend, so we're hoping to celebrate that. To pick up a couple of supplies.
They're huge.
Amateur radio must have rolled down into the gully and went into the river. It's out well and up well. Are described as Villages that time forgot.